Hi there, this is Tony PCP. Today we will looking the angle of the election by the money. Um, why we should pass Bernie Sanders support Andrew Yang. Money will tell us the story. So we can see the update normally data of the polling in California. Biden, Sanders, Warren, Yang, and Harris will be the top five. But behind that polling number, I will tell us the story about the money back of the polling. So each one of polling cost how much money this nominees to spend. You can say number we conclude. Young is 442,000. But Biden, Warren, Harris, and Bernie, you can see there were different level, right? Biden is more efficiency, Warren is less, Harris is much less, but Bernie actually is the worst in the money ROI. We can see how this number come from. So first part is what those lobbyists recently invest in their campaign. You can see number Q3 Q3 didn't finish yet, so we have the update is Q2. We can say Bernie Sanders spent 14 million, Biden spent 11 million, and Warren spent 10 million. When the Harris spent 70.5 million, Young just spent 3.1 million. So from that number, we can conclude each one of polling cost for those five nominees. You can see Biden do a very good job as Young. They're just 427,000. The Young is 442. Carrier, absolutely, their money efficiency is most bad there. Bernie is kind of 20% higher than Young. The efficiency were 20% lower than Young. So, but there's actually we need to know those kind of politicians. They spend a lot of money in before in their election. So we will conclude their effection of the money they spent before. So we'll see the other part. We can see the fact is uh, the big infection of the polling is from the history, which the money spent by Bernie Sanders. Actually, he spent 269 million. Can you imagine how big that is? And most of them, 223 million, were spent in 3 years before in 2016. Yes, he was he was lost when he fight with Hillary Clinton, which he spent those money. There's affection is still there. So we conclude those affection 10% decrease each year. So if it happened 10 years before that campaign, we can forget it. Just zero effect right now. But just happened 3 years before. Think about it. Maybe, yeah, 3 years before. So we conclude that it's 0.7 two times the number. So we get the number is 156 million effect right now for Bernie's campaign, which means, which Bernie get 26% of polling numbers, only two or three of them is get the effect from the investor from the Q2. The other is come from the 3 years before election there. Understand? So you know how strong Andrew Yang is. He just only spent 3 minutes to get 7% in polling. Yeah, that's amazing. That's because he is the one, not because the UBI is the really solution. So we will continue to see from this ROI, we can see Yang is more efficiency, 50 times efficiency than Bernie Sanders. The reason is Yang, the people personally, Andrew Yang is much stronger and much smart guy compared with Bernie Sanders. And also Young's policy, UBI, is really a good solution than which Bernie Sanders gave a lot of guarantee there, lot of policy which I look like is go back. It's kind of like make a big government to control people, to let people do what government need. That will make problem totally, because you know why the America is the most strong and the most uh, developed country all through the world, because of freedom, the economic freedom too. So I think that's not work at all. So we can see from the Andrew Yang and the Sanders, they all can beat Donald Trump from Emerson's polling. But you can think about that. Imagine that. Which Andrew Yang can beat Donald Trump just because when he spent 3 million money to make people to know him. In the meantime, you know, Bernie Sanders spent 2069 million money to let people know him. He even 1% less than Andrew Yang to beat Donald Trump. So that makes sense. That with no doubt you cannot choose Bernie Sanders. You can say you can choose Andrew Yang. Absolutely, I like Bernie Sanders. Sometimes I think he's a hero. He fight his 30 years as a politician, but I only can see his time is gone. His time is gone. We have to pass it. Sorry, Bernie Sanders. How many money actually we need right now to beat Bernie Sanders for Andrew Yang? I conclude 10 million is enough. Oh, this number look like not too big, right? Even not as much as which Bernie Sanders on hands. But don't worry, YangGangs. You know, we have YangGangs. We have people right now think harder. So we know what happened there. Nobody will be foolish by the surface information. We're thinking about harder. We're looking about the polling numbers behind. What's the money talk? You can see the money tell us. Andrew Yang's efficiency for each 1% the polling cost is 442 keys. So we need to lead those top five to be make Andrew Yang from 7% to 13%. So we use 30% minus 7 and times the 442 keys. Then we get a number. It's 10 million. Yeah, that's the right number. That's the math tell me. This only 10 millions we can lead in top 5 because we have much power for nominee Andrew Yang. We have really logic and make sense policy there, UBI. So that's we can win this campaign. Only need these 10 millions. So YangGangs, so let's do some actions. So listen, you think everybody will spend money. So we know money never cheating you, right? How many money you get, how many you pay, you get something back. So money talks. So we should think about it. Bernie Sanders is not really the one. He cost a lot of money but cannot win. Yang can only need 500,000 people to just donate $20 in YangGang, Yang2020.com. Then we can beat Bernie Sanders in the nominee competition to lead the top 5. So that's why we should to do. Also, if you are not donated, that's okay. Actually, Yang have needed most data is more pollings and more votes. So what you can do is for Yang, you can share this picture or this video to 5 friends. Then you will get more friends now. That money actually you spend so much money in Bernie Sanders. Actually, is we know is 269 millions in his life. That is not get a lot of things back. So you should invest the money to the right person, and also you should to the do the wise decision for your final choice. You can let your friend think about the knowledge about their money spent. Actually, Andrew Yang spent the most less money to get most more support. So he is really the one that we will have to face it. Thank you guys. Catch you guys later. And if you guys like this video and give me some support to subscribe me, to support me to go ahead to find more things to help us to find the best nominee for the Americans, which Andrew Yang it is. Thank you. Bye. This is Tony PCP.